Loss, grief, and sadness. A human life is filled with so many tragic events that can make one question everything. Why did this have to happen? Why me? It's extremely difficult to move on from the loss of a loved one, someone that you deeply cared about. The following weeks and months can feel like such a blur. You can feel alone and miserable, but you can also stand back up and continue to progress. August 13, 2016 marked the day that changed my life forever. It was the day that I lost someone who was so near and dear to my heart. It was the day that I lost my spiritual leader, my guru, Pramukh Sai Maharaj. To just offer an insight on what he meant to me, I'll just say that he's the reason that I am who I am today. To put it in the simplest words, he was my everything. Some say that losing a parent is the worst death that someone encounters in their life, but I, without a doubt and for a fact, can say that losing him is and was the worst death I've ever encountered or will ever encounter. I remember the day so clearly, every little detail. It was the morning of our annual regional convention, and I was volunteering as a group lead, and I had to take care of 8 girls. We were getting seated for the first session of the day, and as I walked in and as we were getting seated, I see another one of my fellow group leads just fall to the floor. She broke down into tears, and I remember being so confused, wondering what happened. And then within minutes, I start to receive text messages that hint at the tragedy and hint at everything that was going on. And without even knowing the accuracy of the text message, I just break down and break into tears. I look around to see other group leads also begin to cry, and I remember seeing all the younger girls just looking very confused and just staring at us. An individual then comes onto stage to slowly break the news to the thousands of boys and girls that were sitting in that room. And the sound that followed, I'll never forget. It was the combined gasp in that room, the combined shock that came out of these young girls and boys was so surreal to hear. There wasn't a dry eye in the room, no matter what the age, no matter what the gender. This was an individual who had captured millions of hearts, and this was an individual who had loved each and every one of us unconditionally. The days that followed were impossible to get through. We visited the temple every night to partake in prayers, and we surrounded ourselves with others that were going through the same thing. There were millions across the globe that were coming together to provide support for each other and to help each other get through the hardest time of all of our lives. The challenge that I came across with accepting that he was physically no longer with us was extremely difficult. The days that followed consisted of a lot of introspection on my life and my actions. I questioned if I had made him happy. I questioned if I had done things that maybe didn't make him happy, if I had done things that he probably didn't want me to do. And I questioned everything, and I felt so much guilt. One constant that I had during these tough times was my temple community. It was my second family. Without them, it was absolutely impossible for me to smile again. And together, we were able to stand back up, and together we were able to see some light during that tough, dark time. And so today, I just want to tell all of you that loss is something that's unavoidable. Everyone goes through it, everyone grieves differently in their own way. But the one universal message at a time like this is unity and togetherness. I at one point thought that I would never feel normal again, I would never feel safe again. But surrounding myself with the people who were there for me was my only reason for feeling safe again. And during these tough times, all that people can do for each other is just be there for one another and just support one another and love one another. And so, if this is something that you have ever gone through or you have to go through, just know that you're not alone. And remember to surround yourselves with the people that you love and the people that love you. And if you do just that, I promise you'll be alright.